Yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation. Well, it started when I met Mang Cesar during my vacation in Surigao del Sur, located in Mindanao, Philippines. The goal was to visit the enchanted river where mermaids, pixies, and fairies supposedly dwelled. But I had no idea I would cross paths with a flesh-eating, terrifying, alien-looking creature. My name is Sheila, and my companion on that trip was Karen. Back in high school, we were both on the varsity swimming and diving team and had won many national awards. That's when we became close friends and vowed to travel the world together once we finished college. When we arrived in town, we heard a lot of rumors regarding Mang Cesar. The story goes that he had an encounter with a horrifying entity called shokoy. According to the locals, a shokoy is a humanoid creature from the Bantay Tubig or merfolk. It has green scaly skin, tentacles, webbed hands and fins, and legend has it that they live inside the caves near rivers and oceans. Mang Cesar claimed that the shokoy tried to lure him into the mystical caves, but he was lucky enough to escape. From that point onwards, he vowed to never swim in the Hinatuan Enchanted River again, and had warned everyone not to go near the area, especially his son. Instead, he advised everyone to go swim in the local cold spring, which was close by. One day, his only child defied him and swam in the Enchanted River at night. The child was never seen again after that. Mang Cesar was seen sobbing by the riverbank, clutching his 10-year-old son's slippers. After that, he was spotted shooing away tourists who wanted to swim in the river, but he was reprimanded by the town officials, who told him to allow the people to enjoy the water. Everyone thought Mang Cesar was a lunatic at the time, and he was treated as an outcast. After all, the Enchanted River was supposed to be a secret place with beautiful creatures guarding the waters, and was also a very popular tourist spot. He still visited the area though, and warned tourists against jumping into the water. That's how we met Mang Cesar. He saw us approaching and immediately ran over to us. "The water is too cold for swimming. You can get sick," he said. He also told us about the creature known as the shokoy, and told us that we should go to the nearby resort instead, where we would be safe. Of course, we ignored him and thought he was crazy. We didn't know that doing so would turn out to be a fatal mistake. Being excellent swimmers meant Karen and I always engaged in healthy competition, but it was Karen who consistently won first place, and I came in second. We became the best of friends despite competing in numerous swimming competitions against each other. The Philippines was recommended to us by another swimmer for our summer vacation. The crystal clear sapphire blue waters are what attracted us the most. It was truly breathtaking. "The water is clear because someone is taking care of it," Mang Cesar stated. Karen immediately took off her dress and had her swimsuit underneath. Mang Cesar got spooked when he saw Karen dive into the water. He immediately ran away. We simply laughed and I took off my clothes to jump in. I was in my swimsuit when I suddenly got the feeling of being watched. Karen and I looked around, but didn't see anyone nearby. All we could see was Mang Cesar in the far distance still running away from the river. I joined Karen, and we decided to have a contest to see who could swim across the river first. Karen laughed. "And what will be the prize?" she asked. "A halo-halo," I answered. We swam towards the riverbank, then counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. The current was strong, but Karen managed to cross the river first. I, on the other hand, struggled and was taken by the current towards a cave. All I remember and saw was a narrow entrance to the cave where the water flowed far away. In the blink of an eye, I saw a blurry shadow of what looked like a big green fish-like creature pop up from underneath the water. It quickly disappeared when Karen swam towards me. "Did you see that?" I asked Karen. "See what?" Karen asked as she looked at the direction of where I was pointing. It was also at that moment when I felt I was cramping up, so Karen assisted me in getting out of the water. We rested for a while and had a delicious picnic. We ate chicken barbecue and rice cake wrapped in banana leaves. Karen threw the leaves into the river after she finished. I was shocked. "You shouldn't have done that," Karen argued. "But it's biodegradable," she remarked and also threw the barbecue stick into the water. After a while, Karen remembered the cave and got curious about it, so she told me that she wanted to go back there. Did you know that no one has ever reached the bottom of the river? Supposedly, there are underwater tunnels that lead down into a subterranean cave system. They've also discovered underwater chambers and more tunnels leading off into uncharted territory. Explorers have only gone down 200 feet, which they think is only scratching the surface. Since I wasn't fully recovered from the cramps, I told her it was dangerous to go there alone. Maybe there were in fact mythical creatures living in the water. But Karen was adamant and dove back into the water and headed straight for the cave. She got closer to the small entrance, and that's when I saw her sink, as if something pulled her down. I immediately dove into the water. I swam as fast as I could. When I reached the cave, I went underwater. Everything happened so quickly, I lost track of time. The moment I opened my eyes, right in front of me, was the most terrifying being I had ever seen. In front of my face was what I assumed to be the shokoy Mang Cesar had warned us about. It had the head of a fish, but the rest of its body was green and covered with scales. The shape of its body was like a man's, and its teeth were as sharp as blades. I immediately panicked and swam away, trying to put distance between us. But the creature didn't chase me. It didn't even move. When I looked back, I saw it holding Karen, who was now struggling to breathe and escape. I mustered enough courage to swim towards it again, to try and snatch her away from it. But before I could grab Karen, the creature suddenly jerked her arm towards its face and took a massive bite out of her flesh. Her blood mixed with the water of the river. I could taste the saltiness from where I was. Karen managed to slip out of the creature's arms. She swam to the surface to catch her breath. I also took the opportunity to swim up and take another breath. All I could hear was Karen screaming in pain. I was about to swim towards her when the creature resurfaced and bit Karen's neck, killing her in the process. At that point, my fight or flight response kicked in. I was shouting and weeping loudly while trying my best to reach land. Halfway to the riverbank, I felt a tug on my right leg, and a few seconds later, I felt another tug. This one more forceful than the previous. I swam faster. At that point, I felt a hand pulling me towards the deep water. Once underwater, I saw the creature dragging and nibbling on my right leg. I felt a sharp pain, and the water was filled with my blood. I was getting desperate at this point and was about to give up. I accepted death. Then something hit the water. A big splash. I couldn't comprehend what was happening. When the bubbles cleared, I saw someone else in the water. It was Mang Cesar. He had what looked like a dagger in his hand. He kept stabbing the creature while it gnawed at him. He didn't stop until both of them sank to the bottom of the river. I swam up to the riverbank and got out. Once on dry land, I passed out. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. I was told that Mang Cesar drowned trying to save me, and Karen's body was missing, supposedly in an attempt to be the first to reach the bottom of the enchanted river, but also rumored to have been devoured by fish or merfolk.